Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again. And as you can see, I know what you're saying, where is that beautiful Worcestershire countryside that you usually take us through? Yet we're on a slightly different day out today. We're on a bit of a mini adventure, and we are going to get on the motorway. Now this is the very first time I've ever ridden the CL on a motorway, so this should be interesting. Not its natural hunting ground, shall we say. I think you'd agree. So you ask, why? What are we doing? Why are we on the motorway? Where are we going? Well, as I said, a little bit of a mini adventure, and we're going to test out some bikes today, or at least Malcolm is. Now, I'm sure you know Malk from previous videos. I chat with the RS 955 Orange Triumph and also the Z750 Kawasaki. We followed him a couple of times before, but he's going to test some bikes today, and this should be really interesting. If you remember, I did tell you that he was thinking of downsizing, and he was considering the CB500X, the CL's bigger brother, if you like. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going off to test one of those, so it should be interesting. But he's chosen to do it at Tamworth Honda, and Tamworth Honda and Triumph dealers they are. They're a multi-franchise dealer, apparently a very, very nice place indeed. So we're going to meet up with him on the motorway services at Hopwood. I'll try and put a map on the screen actually, just to show you roughly where we are, but we're sort of going around the outskirts of Birmingham at the moment. And for you that don't know the UK too well, for anybody in America, Birmingham is the UK's second biggest city after London, and it has this sort of semi-circulatory motorway system that goes around the outside of it. And we're going to be skirting around the south side of it here today to get up to Tamworth. M42, that's what I need. There it is, M42, that's what we're after. So we're going to meet him at this service station and then go on from there. I tell you what, so what are my first impressions of the CL on the motorway? Well, fine, to be honest, absolutely fine. As I said, I don't use motorways hardly at all. I avoid them like the plague. This is just the most convenient way of getting where we're going at the moment. But I'm doing sort of 57 miles an hour here, sort of just under 60. Drop down a bit around this corner. Wind is not too bad at all. Very comfortable. I feel like I've got enough power in reserve to get myself out of trouble if anything should get difficult. So far, so good. Yes, as I may have, you may know, Malcolm's been considering downsizing to, as I said, a 500cc motorcycle, and this will be the first time in quite a few years that he's had a bike as small as that, if he does go for it. So today's going to be the critical test. Is it going to suit him? Now the bike he's actually riding, I think, is going to be one of the later versions of the CB500X, not the actual one that he's possibly thinking of buying, but it will give him a good idea, certainly in terms of engine power, whether he feels it's enough for him. So it should be really interesting to see how he feels about it. And then after we've done the road test, just to make a full day of it, and I'm not sure if it's going to appear on this video because I'm yet to work out how much I can fit on one video, but we're also going to visit the Triumph factory, because we will be going virtually by the Triumph factory in order to get where we're going. So we thought it'd be rude not to go and have a look at that. So that could be interesting too. I don't know whether we'll do the tour, factory tour, or we'll just have a general mooch round. We shall see. But yeah, we're on the sort of motorway proper now, just cruising along, 6 gear, up a hill, on this quite slow moving Citroen Berlingo. I think what I'll do is I'll just wind on the power and see if we can just pass this, just to see how it feels. Yeah, it's so comfortable, the CL, it's no problem at all. Scoots up to 60. Even in 6, up a hill, and there is quite a gradient here. I don't know whether the camera will pick it up, but it's quite a gradient. This sort of power, 47 brake horsepower, it's got a bump then, sorry, 47 brake horsepower is enough on the motorway so far. No problem, comfortable. So I'll stop talking now, and I will meet you down the road as we try and find Malcolm. Oh, here we are. Hopwood Park Services. This is it. This is where we've arranged to meet. Yeah, so my first few miles on the motorway, on the CL. I feel very comfortable, no problem at all. I don't feel that the bike's too small or too underpowered. I feel absolutely fine despite all this traffic around me. Holds its line beautifully. It's very windy today, gusty, and it's not being affected by the gusts and wind at all. Very comfortable. Yeah, so here we are, Hopwood Services, and rather than pull into the services, we're going to go down the first road and meet up along there, so we should be able to see him, if he's there of course. If not, I'll have to hang on a bit. Apparently there's a little lay-by and a flower cellar. So if I can find that, we should be able to find him. Right, where's the flower cellar? Aha! No, is Malk there yet? I might be early. I don't know, I might be early, but if I pull in here... Yeah, I think I'm a little bit early. Ah, wait a minute, there's a bike up there and it looks orange to me. How about that for timing? That is incredible. We've coincided within seconds of one another. That is definitely Milk. So there we go. I will do a turn now. Right. I think we have a chance. There we go, no problem. Ish. Morning. Right then, so we're here. Or very nearly here anyway, by the dealers who've just done around about 15 miles, 20 miles on the motorway, and I can report I'm really impressed with how good the CL is on the motorway. I thought when it got into the busy traffic that it would get a little bit dicey, to say the least, buffeting around and, you know, feel a little bit small, but not at all. It was absolutely spot on. Really impressed with it. So along here somewhere, I think. Aha, this side, yeah, there we go. Here's the dealers. Here we are, Birmingham Triumph East and Honda. It's looking good. So we'll get ourselves sorted out with some nice bikes. Except I've gone the wrong way around. So there we are. Couple of street triples there. And I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, so here goes Malk, having a little test ride on the 500. Here he goes. And we'll speak to him when we get back and see what he thinks. Right, so we're waiting for Malk's return. See what he thinks of the 500X. Meanwhile, I've come across this, one of my other fave bikes at the moment, the new Triumph Scrambler 1200X, which I really quite fancy. The only thing I don't fancy about it is the price. 12 grand. Here we have the little 400, its little brother. Very nice. And of course the Speed 400. And over here, another bike that I quite like at the moment, which is the Triumph Tiger Sport. Very tempted by one of these, and I've managed to sit on one, this particular one actually, with a low seat fitted, which was interesting. But what a pretty adventure style bike that is. Very, very nice. Oh, so many bikes, so little time. So where's Malk? He's supposed to have been out for 20 minutes. That was about half an hour. Now over here we've got the Transalp. Usually see those in the blue and white colour scheme. This is the grey one. Just trying to keep an eye out for Malk if he's returning. Trident with a fluorescent yellow. Very smart. And this is the bike that Malk's sort of after, the 500X. Although one probably a little bit older than that maybe. What age is that? That's a 21 plate, yeah. So any minute he'll be back and we'll have a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And here he comes. Is it a yay? Is it a nay? Let's go and ask him. First impressions. So what's the first impressions? Yes, thumbs up. Wow. Not this one. Not this one, but thumbs up. I can't help but say I'm amazed. Superb. After managing to get lost on the Tiger Sport, Malk's just stalled the Triumph, and we are now off to the Triumph factory. I want to have just noticed we've done 3,000 miles on the CL. So we're off to the Triumph factory. Oh, doesn't it feel nice to be back on the CL after the Tiger Sport? Now that's no knock of that bike, that's just the fact that you're back on your own bike that you know so well. The other problem with today is I don't know if you can see, but the amount of wind is horrendous. I had my helmet sat on the table back there at the dealers, and a gust of wind, I had to catch the helmet who's going on the floor. It blew the helmet straight off the table. And that isn't ideal when you're test riding bikes that you've never been on before. You just need some calm, don't you, really? But no, it's great to be back on something you know. So, overall with the Tiger Sport, great bike, great engine, no problem. The only thing, and I was just talking to Malcolm about this, the gearbox. I found the gearbox notchy and a little bit tight, and maybe it's because it's new. but the gearbox on the CL is undoubtedly far lighter and snickier, and I must say that would probably be my main gripe with the Tiger. And I know Tiger Triumph gearboxes in general are quite heavy feeling. They were on my Street Scrambler when I had that, although the Street Triple I had before, I thought that was fine. Maybe they just need a little bit of use more than some of the bikes. But when I picked this CL up, it had done 2 miles on it when it was new when I picked it up, and the gearbox was like a knife through butter right from the first moment. So, as I said, we're on our way to the Triumph factory now, and the visitor centre, and to get a coffee, because we're all desperate for a coffee. I actually stopped and rang Malk after I switched the camera off, and I said, "You're not going to believe this." What? And I think he thought I'd had an accent or something. I said, "I'm lost, completely lost." And Mark, being the human sat nav that I've mentioned in the past, because he used to do delivering and that, so he knows everywhere. He told me exactly where I was and exactly how to get back to the dealers from where I was. So hats off to him. I was about to get my sat nav out, and he said, "No, you don't need that. I'll tell you where to go." And he was right. So here we are, back on course. But the main good news of today is, of course, for Mount, that he was thumbs up with the 500. And I'll be honest with you, if I'd have had to put money on it when I asked for that first reaction, thumbs up, thumbs down, I'd have put money on a thumbs down. I really would. So that surprised me. But that's good. That means his search for a CB500X will continue, and he's going to be confident now in knowing what the bike's like. Because even though we took out the latest NX, it's basically a very similar bike. But with my appalling sense of direction, I really do need to get myself a sat-nav sorted out on the bike. Although having said that, I got lost, and just by feeling it, I sort of found my way almost back to the garage, so I can't be that bad. Because when I rang Mark, he said, "Yeah, you're virtually on the right road, you just need 2 miles down the road and you'll be here." So it wasn't too bad. So as a conclusion, is the Tiger 660 still in my sights? Do you know, I don't think it is. It might have been a bit of an unfair test ride. It was quite hurried. The traffic was horrendous, as you probably saw, and then I got lost, so it wasn't going very well. So my mind wasn't probably on the bike as much as it should have been, but I'm going to reserve judgment on that. But at the moment, it's certainly not catapulted it to the front of my mind. Put it like that. There we go, Hinckley, 9 miles. So we're not far away now from the home of Triumph. And here we go, factory visitor experience and the 1902 cafe, which is I think where we're heading for. We need a coffee. What a better place to have a coffee than at the home of Triumph. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely magnificent. Look at that. Tell you what, it makes you proud to be British. He says with his Honda. But I've had many Triumphs, so I could quite proudly say that. there's the factory visitor experience. All the kids blowing the horns, that's all this noise is, nothing else. Wow. Yeah. I'll tell you what, he's making too much money, is Mr. Bloor. I mean, God almighty. Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, he's a billionaire, is Mr. Bloor, and it shows. This is just the average Saturday at the Triumph place. Right then. So this is the visitor experience, completely free. Absolutely fantastic. A couple of rockets there. And some of the triumphs of history. Wow. Model H from 1916. And there's a 1901 prototype. And as you can see, if you love Triumphs, this is the place to be. And there is the first ever Bonneville T120 in those colours that they've just reproduced. Beautiful. Yeah, so there's the Rocket 3 ×2 powered speed machine. Wow, it's just pretty overwhelming actually. If you love your Triumphs, this really is the place to be. Stunning displays. I've got to say, it makes me want to Triumph again. Right, we're going to go and find Mount now if we can. Right then, so that's the end of the visitor experience at Triumph. And what a magnificent place it is. Fantastic. So off we go, and hopefully not get lost on the way home. But the wind is absolutely insane. It really is, as you can probably see from those trees there. But what a fantastic day. And one last look at it there. It's certainly worth coming to have a look at. Absolutely amazing. Very friendly, everyone's very friendly. The cake, I can tell you that. The cake, well, Malk had one of the pieces of cake, £3.60 I think it was. And, well, I don't know, I'm not going to say what nearly happened to him as he tasted it first, but he nearly lost it. Absolutely awesome. I had a flapjack and that was very nice too. Not cheap, but very, very special, lovely, and you don't mind paying for something once in a blue moon. Very expensive if it's good, dear. So there we go, that's what the Triumph factory's like here in Leicestershire, England. Hope that little quick look round was interesting for you. And now I've got a long journey back home. Well, not too far, about 30 odd miles. The CL's been brilliant, really impressive on the motorway. As I said earlier, I'm chuffed by how well it handled itself on the motorway, despite it being horrifically windy today. The Tiger 660 Sport, lovely bike, not sure if it's for me. It's just a bit too tall, I think, just a bit too big. I've got to go back to the drawing board on that one a little bit. Malk, he's chuffed. I think the 500X, it's just a matter of finding the right one for him now. He was really impressed with the CL's bigger brother. He loved it. Well, the NX, which is the one that he actually he rode, but such a similar bike. He wanted to know about the engine as much as anything, and almost identical, and he was well pleased. So it could well be a CB500X joining the gang very, very soon. As for me, am I any closer to decide on what bike I'm going to have to join the CL? I don't know if I am actually, or even further away. I think the Tiger 660, unless I could lower it, I'm not a big fan of lowering bikes though, but unless I could lower it, I just think it's just a bit tall for me now. As I said, I had an 800 before and I was absolutely fine on that, but I'm getting older and things need to fit me more than ever. So we're going to go the scenic way home, going towards Nuneaton now. And Malk's promised me some really nice windy roads, so looking forward to that. But yeah, the Suzuki GSX-8S is still on my radar. One thing that riding the Tiger has convinced me though is that I need to ride it, not just go and buy one, but I really, really do need to ride it, which I knew anyway, but it's just confirmed it more than ever. And there are others, and I need to ride those too before I make my decision. What we got there? Triumph Street Triple RS? Yes. In that rather fetching yellow. So yeah, I don't know if I'm any closer to deciding what I want than I was before, but there you go, such is life. Right, I've just pulled off the motorway a few minutes ago and just wanted to sort of collect my thoughts really, and I'll just tell you how incredibly impressed I am with this little CL500. It's the first time I've taken it on the motorway, as I said earlier. My first impressions were really positive, but all the way back, those impressions have just doubled and trebled. It's just extraordinary how good this little bike is. I mean, I've been doing, I've not been hanging around. I've done roll-ons from 68, 70 miles an hour, accelerating up to well, naughty speeds, shall we say, and back again, with no problem at all. The bike's never missed a beat. It's felt stable. It's felt not one bit underpowered. And I just can't tell you how impressed I am with it. I would happily tour anywhere on this bike, any distance, no problem at all. And at the same time, I've just checked, and you can see, I don't know if you can see on the thing there, I've just put it onto fuel consumption. So while doing this, tearing along the motorway, through traffic, really, really pushing on at times, 90 miles to the gallon, 90 mpg. And I've kept up with all the traffic around me whilst doing that figure. I think that is phenomenal. What a fantastic little bike this is. And I've got no reason to say that. I own one, I know, but that is my honest opinion. I've just come back along the road where I first brought this. Well, this is the same road that when I first bought this bike, when I brought it home. I brought it home this way, and we're now 3,000 miles later. I can honestly say I'm even more impressed with it than I ever have been. Phenomenal little machine. It's been comfortable, and I've never once felt that I needed anything bigger, and I'm astonished by that, to be honest. Absolutely astonished, because I thought if there's anywhere that's going to show up the limitations of a 500cc twin with 47 brake horsepower, it would be on the journey that I've just done. Not at all. Incredibly impressed with it. So there we go. If you're thinking of buying a 500cc bike, mid-range, sub 50 brake horsepower bike, and you're worried that it's not going to be enough here, well, all I can say is my experience today has been so positive. So positive. So there we go. Thanks for being with me. I hope that's helped and you've enjoyed the little trip out, and I will see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye for now.